We're going to talk about finding new customers, and I want to tell you right now, after 64 years trying to do it, we need a plan. It just doesn't happen by itself. And tonight, I want to welcome you all to our presentation about finding customers. My name is Steve Carver, and I'm in Dunn, North Carolina. This is my presentation number 990, September 28th, 2022. Thank you for joining me on my journey, and thank you for letting me join you on yours. We've got a lot to do, and this is our session number 4 in a 7-part series, which will grow into a 12-part series a little later on. Telling you up front, I'm not a lawyer or a CPA or a professional tax advisor. I'm a fellow that's been in a lot of businesses for over 63 years. They've all worked out well. I've been able to sell some of them through the years, but what I'm right now, my primary business, carverequipment.com, we're in our 63rd year, still selling farm equipment. But now, instead of just selling right here in Dunn, we work with customers all over the United States and sometimes in other countries. So I'm not just someone that's read the book and telling you about it. I do it every day. I work today with several customers in Maine, Florida, North Carolina, Virginia, Arizona, and Missouri today. So been a right busy day right here at the equipment company too. Our presentation tonight is facilitated, sponsored by the Small Business Center at James Sprunt Community College in Kenansville, North Carolina. The Small Business Center is there to help folks like you and I that are independent business people. And the director, John Hardison, is really good at what he does, and he welcomes you to give him a call, set up an appointment, and he'll be just like an employee for you. No charge, but totally confidential professional services. Want to really encourage you to do that. If you would like to be in touch with the small business director in your area, if you're not in the Dublin County area, just let me know and I'll be glad to help make an appointment for you. But John and his office is in Warsaw, and be glad to have you go there. Please find the chat button. In the rest of our series, it's going to become really important that you try to start learning to follow the instructions of these presentations so that you're used to doing it, and because it may not be but just a little while before you'll be giving presentations and talking with customers and being involved in Zoom and chat organizations. So it's really helpful for everyone to know who's on board. We're kind of a close group. Everyone that's been with us tonight has been here before, so there's not many secrets out there amongst us, at least that we can share. So just for the record, if you would, when you sign in, type in your name, first and last name, your email address, and your hometown. That gives us a good record, because sometimes people had the first names and the same last names, and it gets confusing, especially if all of them seeing is a telephone number. It makes it difficult to stay in touch with what I'm supposed to be doing. So now let me see if I can see all of our speakers. There we go. Got a lot of email early on, which was your study guide. So dated number 990 is a very important handout for you. I hope you have that where you can keep notes on it as we go through tonight. Then that 40 drill skills is still there. And another very important handout, the SEO search engine optimization handout, which goes into real good details for some things that goes deeper than what we'll talk about tonight. Your homework assignments now are always going to be the same. These assignments will help qualify you for your graduation certificate, and also for any special awards that we might give for extra efforts that you're doing. Just attending the presentations will earn you a certificate of completion of the courses. So I appreciate y'all continuing. You've been very good about going steady with us. I appreciate you showing up and making time to do this. But it's the homework that gets you that graduation certificate and that's rewards. And mainly, it's the homework that helps you build that self-confidence. Several of you are doing such a great job, and several of you are starting to participate. Looking forward to 100% participation if we can get it. Let's just talk a little bit about what progress I've seen this week. Before I start into it, let me welcome Amelia. It's good to have you back with us tonight, and thank you for making the effort to be here with us, and we'll move forward. Sarita is always a helping hand. She's one of our master associates. She's a master associate because she's attended these series at least 4 times and continues to come and to help us, gives good advice and good comments to help everyone, as does Angela. She's a master associate as well. She's getting her business up and running. But one of our new guests, and welcome, is Beth. Beth is on board with us tonight, and she's been here all along, doing a great job with, she's a full-time healthcare professional now, in the process of moving to a private practice and getting started to do it. Beth, I wanted to mention those flowers are so beautiful in that picture, and I'm sure your honeybees just love them. So Beth has been working on sharing with us her menu of information and such as that. She's got how to contact with her, and been making videos and such as that. Asked her to consider making another video. We're getting some different background and the information that's better for an introductory video. And so pleased that she did that. So if you would turn your microphone up and let's see what Beth's got going on.
Hi, I'm Beth. I'm the Honeybee Health Coach. I am a registered nurse that provides chronic disease education and health coaching to help you reach your health and lifestyle goals. Also, as a beekeeper, I find that the hive mentality of everybody pitching in and taking care of each other is really important and something that healthcare should strive for. I look forward to working as a team to help you reach your health goals. Take care.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you, Beth, so much. I want to talk to you now. If you'd like to do it, or you'd like for my folks to do it, consider putting some music on there, some voiceover possibly, some of your information about how to contact you. Just kind of dress it up a little bit. So we'll be asking you to send me a note if it'll be all right if we tinker on that a little bit so we can show it next time. Madison has been with us on a regular basis. He's getting his security services business up and started out of Rayford. Sharmaran has been with us. She's a reading tutor. Danisha is with us tonight. Thanks again for coming. Looking forward to getting more information from you so I can brag on you a little more, as well as you, Amelia. Thank you for being with us again, too, and being a steady student. Good to work with you. Darlene's been missing for a couple of times. I may quit advertising for her till she shows back up, but looking forward to hearing from Darlene as well. Cheryl, thank you for coming. I'm looking forward to getting some information for you, telling me what your next step is or how we can help you. Looking forward to working with you on some event planning. Tierra is with us tonight. He's on the road, and extra effort and extra pleasure to work for you, Tierra. If you can be out there driving a truck, taking food and other materials to us, we're all going to need it, and all of us are going to appreciate you even more delivering food to the warehouses, especially in the times of hurricanes. Godspeed to you. Be careful, and we'll all be praying for you and hope you make it home safe and sound as you're driving south tonight and tomorrow. Crystal, we already been speaking with you. Can't wait to get some photos from you, and maybe your mom, you said, was going to help you and get to work on those candles. I was happy to place an order with you tonight. Lisa hadn't tuned in yet, but she probably will in a little bit. Looking forward to, well, there she is. Yes, thank you. Thank you for the vision statement that you sent in and for your work that you're doing. Rhonda and Christopher starting a mobile mechanics business. I'm especially interested in their work because that's the type of work that I'm used to doing in my equipment business. I think I can give you all a lot of help once you're ready to start moving forward and marketing even more. Rhonda came forward with a mission and vision statement. Certainly do appreciate that. Jennifer's not back with us yet tonight, but she has really put a lot of effort into moving her business forward. She does a lot of different things over in Charlotte, primarily a pastoral counselor and therapist to help folks along. She's got some special marketing things for special events she's working on. Done a great job got a menu of her services that she's posting on the internet. We all can learn from that, Jennifer. That's some beautiful work that you're doing there. Katrina is doing a good job with her new work and promoting her products from the Perfect Touch here in Raleigh. Want to get some more time on the items that she's selling, maybe, and we'll talk about that in coming weeks. And Julia, how about that? I finally found you, looked you up. You sent me some great information and all about dog treats. And look at all the things that Julia is making for your pets. All different flavors of different dog treats that she prepares herself, then ships them out. Flavors everything from peanut butter trainers to cheesy stars. And so I talked with my boss Otis, our English bulldog, and he asked me to order him some bacon and egg dog biscuits and I think some cheesy stars. So we placed an order with Julia last week, and she said she was shipping them out today. I asked her if they would be good with strawberry jelly on them, because I might like all kinds of biscuits, so I might give it a try myself. At any rate, we'll be showing you those biscuits by next week this time and talking about them. So, Julia, it's a lot of fun to work with you, and thank you for taking my order. Thank you for taking my money. I'm glad to be one of your customers, and we'll be bragging on you hopefully soon. Had an extra good time this week and past week with Patrice. Patrice is a real busy lady. She has about 3 jobs and really important jobs, but she's chasing a little personal dream here, becoming a travel agent. And I am telling you, she's started making some major steps forward. So let's think about how this will work with you and how you think about it, how we might help her and send her some customers. Patrice got her a business page on Facebook. She moved forward after last week, got that business page up and running. She's got a private group started with 160 members. Really good impression. And now she's started putting up some menus of different places we can go. She's got about 10 menus up for different destinations, like a trip to Jamaica. If you want to book into that for a trip to Jamaica. She's got great photos of the venue you can go to and such. And then you can read right there on Facebook and see what all is included and even get a good idea for how much the pricing is. So that is so exciting, Patrice. I'm excited for you. And what I want you to see down here at the bottom, I'm not sure what all is included that I didn't have to spend, but we're talking about a $9,500 ticket here, a $9,500 ticket. If that's not a big ticket item, I don't know what is. So it's a great example that you can become affiliated with other people to put yourself in a position to do some really big ticket work on different things. So keep that in mind, whether it's a travel agency or other type of sales or commission situations. Don't be afraid to go after the big bucks. The bigger the sales, the better the chance is you're going to make some better money on it. But here's the other side. There's always a curveball coming along. So while I was looking for Patrice, I found out that someone else on Facebook is called Travel with Patrice. So she's got built-in competition right on Facebook. So Patrice, you just don't have to figure out how you want to deal with that. Your site is better than the competition, no doubt. But I don't know that I wouldn't think about maybe doing something to change my name a little bit, or to dress up that picture so that when it does show up and people are searching, that they'll be able to find you or want to come to your site instead of that competition. Since they're listed first, they must have been there first. I'm not sure how all that works, but on Facebook, you can have other people that has the same name, as you all know, and it's the same way with your group name. So there's always a challenge, right? But here's a picture of Patrice. She has been so kind. She came to the face-to-face meetings at Kenansville last week and this week. This was last night. We had a chance to get our picture taken together, and all that highlight is we sit right around in front of the PowerPoint to put us the spotlight on us. So thank you so much, Patrice, for all that you're doing for other people, because I know you're a busy lady, and this is just extra stuff that you're trying to get started. So congratulations on all you're doing. All right, guys, you can see that I'm working for you. If you give me a little something to work with, I'll try to help you do what you want to with your business at your pace. Maybe you think I'm pushing you too hard. Well, I don't mean to be. I just want to be a motivator here, and looking forward to seeing it. Come on now, it's time to get those videos up and running. Beth, thank you so much for the work that you're doing there to make that, give us a good example. I'd like to see a video from every single one of you if we could. And today, one of your emails, I sent 7 emails to each of you today, giving you good examples of different videos that I've used through the years, and maybe give you some ideas. But I'll do all I can to help you. Just get your phone out and start practicing, and you'll do just right. So reviewing from what we talked about last week, the different things that make a big difference, the drill skills, the 27 times rule, all the way down this list. Google My Business, the landing pages, testimonials. There's so many things that you can do to help your business move forward. And particular on tonight's subject, which is, how do you find customers? And the answer is, you help them find you. Just that simple. The 40 drill skills, every time we'll do it, we're going to getting close to wrapping them up as far as in our series tonight. So let's jump into that. You've got a handout that goes through all of them. Please read them. Please own some of them. Please rewrite them and tell me how they would affect your business, or how you would say these things in your words. This will certainly qualify you to earn an extra effort certificate. So spend some time with it. Number 1, what's that business plan do? It tells us what's left. What's the marketing plan do? It tells us what's next. 3 kinds of profit centers: new customers, repeat business, big ticket sales. RFC is a raving fan customer. We talked last week on how to plant raving fan customer brain seeds. No demand, change the plan. That means we're not going to throw our business plan away. We're going to keep adjusting it till it does what we need to do, which is make money. We're going to make decisions in a way that makes sense. So it's always be connecting the dots. The 3 letters is by the way. By the way are the key words to upsells, cross sales, and stacking profits. Upsells, cross sales, and stacking profits. How do you catch fish? Keep fresh bait in the water. How do you catch customers? Keep sending out constant promotions. Keep sending out constant promotions. How do you find customers? Help them find you. What's the answer to this? Our business can't be all things to all people. However, it must be everything to some people. We don't want to pay off our long-term debts with our short-term cash flow. Always try to keep some cash in reserve. Marketing, as we said last week, is looking at the big picture. Advertising is specific items that we want to achieve, and we're going to spend special effort on those. Tonight, we're going to jump into that big time. Who's our toughest competitor? Is distractions. How do we handle distractions? We set priorities every morning and try to achieve them. We're going to memorize what fair market value is so that we always buy below fair market value, so we can sell our products above fair market value. The look and the hook, the ads have to look good, and they have to have a hook in them. A hook is a call to action. Positive cash flow is when more money is coming in than is going out. Negative cash flow is when we let it get out without us taking advantage of it and making some money. Never ever have your offers that you're saying to customers, take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. So this is a good chance for me to mention to Patrice. When I was looking at your menu, the price was set. There was nothing there that actually said to that shopper, let's talk about options that you might want to add or subtract so that this trip can fit your budget. Some type of sentence in there inviting them to talk to you about, we want this to fit your budget, will be an important sentence that you would have in all of that. The 3 times rule: if something costs you $30, sell it for $90, and then you can adjust your price otherwise. The 27 times rule: customers have to see your presentations at least 9 times. They're going to miss seeing it 2 out of 3 times, which means when we're planning a marketing campaign, we're always going to remember the 27 times rule and how it can play in. Yes, if, no, but is a way that we negotiate to keep the conversation going. We'll spend in week 7, part 7, we'll spend a lot of time talking about this. Tonight, we're going to jump on this big time. Our most important web page is our mobile page. Our second most important page at our websites are our landing pages. What brings customers back? 40% customer service, 60% hospitality. Starting new ones right now. When closing a sale, we want to learn how to read and send nonverbal communications. Oftentimes, we learn more from what's happening in the room, not by not by what they say, but how they act, what they do, and how they move. It's going to be real important for you to become a professional salesperson. What motivates other people? Generally, it's an assertive person. So I'll mention to all of you, if being assertive, you don't see that as a part of your nature, then I need to encourage you as a new entrepreneur, it needs to be at some point, because it's going to be up to you to help move your business forward, which means you have to motivate yourself. And also we have to motivate customers. We have to motivate people we're dealing with. We have to motivate employees. So just accept the fact that, yeah, I'm going to become an assertive person. I'm going to be nice and gentle and understanding and a great human being, but I understand the importance of being able to be assertive when you need to be. Which is a good thing, tax avoidance or tax evasion? The good thing is tax avoidance, and I don't teach you the importance of that. This will come up very strong in part number 7, week 7, so make sure you tune in for that. It doesn't make any difference how many times that we get knocked down. And we're going to get knocked down a lot. Remember I said that we usually have to show our presentations to our customers 9 times? That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 was not a good show. But finally, because we kept with the perseverance, that 9th time we get the order. So it's not how many times you get knocked down that counts, it's how many times you keep getting up and put a smile on your face. What this about is endurance. It's about endurance, and you have to stay in the race to win it. And winning doesn't mean coming in first. Winning doesn't mean making the $1 billion. Winning doesn't mean making the most profit. Winning means that you're able to stay in the game and keep going up to the plate and keep swinging. So that is our objective. That is one of our priorities. Number 29. Is your legacy going to be that of a taker or a giver? Well, I want all the members of the Academy of Associates and Entrepreneurs to be givers, and I hope that will be your goal as well. When you're being the best person you can be and helping others, let your light shine. Remember that it's important that you have enough self-confidence and enough self-assurance that you know it's important that you smile and help other people as you go along. Last week we talked about the magic marketing moment, remember? That's when you're able to ask your customer, what's next? What do you plan to buy next? Can we go ahead and get an appointment here? When can we plan this trip for you? You want to do it in March or April? And are you going to need some candles for all the holidays? Let me go ahead and get your order right now so I'll know what I need to be making first, so I'll be able to sell those first. It's so important that you give those kind of thoughts, that you do that. And looking forward to hearing more from Jennifer. Welcome, Jennifer. Glad to see that you've joined us on board tonight. looking forward to hearing more from you on examples of the types of services that you can give for your customers and how you can line them up and what type of timetables that you might want to do that with. So the magic marketing moment is the key part of a structural marketing plan that works. The videos to the web pages, we're going to say that so many times, you're going to get tired of hearing it, but you have to get into videos in today's world because it can bring so much return on your investment, and it takes very little investment to get started. The 27 times rule, rehearsing here, 9 times 3 is 27. That's what we have to do when we're planning a marketing campaign. Just like we talked about last week, we're going to figure out a way to have a continuous marketing plan at low cost so that when we do a strong advertising campaign, when we have particular things to do, we can save a lot of money but still get the message done through the 27 times rule, always remembering, and where did that come from? I don't know. Always remembering that a raving fan customer can just blow the 27 times rule away because it don't take but one recommendation from a raving fan customer to send you a new customer to do it. How do you create raving fan customers? You plant those brain seeds by saying, I'm going to do all I can to see that you're 100% satisfied. And you're going to be so pleased that you will send customers to see us as well. That's how you create it. That's how you do it. All right, let's get some water here. Everything that we just went over, I know is repetition, and we got 2 more times that I'm going to repeat them. But the purpose of that is that you've heard them enough that you're familiar with it and it's sinking into your DNA. And take those 40 drill skills and read them, my friends, and start committing them to your memory and your way of thinking, and you'll see some amazing things start happening with you almost immediately. In today's email, I sent you 7 or 8 emails about a lot of different things. I don't expect you to read every one of them today, but I do expect you to save them, maybe print them or make a file copy of them so you can keep up with them, because they're giving you the detailed instructions, sentence by sentence, as you get started writing your letters and making your presentations. If you're unsure of it, you can come back to these and use them as a template to give you ideas, and you take out what I've said and put your words in, but it'll help you get started. It should save you a lot of time and make you feel better about what you're doing. These are not perfect. Nothing is perfect, but these will be very, very helpful to you because I use them all the time. I don't try to reinvent the wheel every time I do something. I'll go back and look at something I've done before that worked well, change it around, and put it with a new product. I want to encourage y'all to do the same thing. You don't have to go through 66 years of developing this stuff, though, because I've done a lot of it for you, so please do. So I sent you some sample videos, showed you how to put inserts in them. That's what I was talking with Beth about, is we can take a raw video that you send to us and add text to them, add lots of information to move your raw video into actually a commercial. Finding customers is we have to go out and look under every bush, shake the bushes, as people used to say, shake the trees, knock on doors, do the cold calling, walk our shoe leather off. Finding customers has been a challenge for everybody since business has been invented. But now we've got something working for us that folks didn't have all those years ago, and that is the power of the internet. And through the power of the internet and what we've learned over a lot of period of years, I want your marketing plan, I want that golden goose marketing plan to be just like this image here, to be like a magnet that draws people to you. In other words, let's pull them into us so that we're not having to walk and work and go find them so hard. I know that probably you guys are like me. You're a one-man show or a two-man show, and there's just not but enough time to do so much stuff in a day or a week. So in my business, through the years, we've used the internet to help customers come into us, put those tools in place. And tonight, that's what I'm going to focus on, because I want to help you do the same thing if that's where you want to go with it. Finding customers, becoming a magnet to help them find you. Part of the key ingredients to doing this and our way of thinking is this magnet thing. You know how magnets sometimes will attract, snap together, attract and snap together depending on which side you put them on? Well, it's the same way with your marketing plan with your particular customer group. Now, for every product that you've got, there's a certain group of customers that has a need for it, or they like that, or maybe they're sick with a certain disease, so they need this particular service that you've got. So we need to think in terms of, in order for our marketing to be most effective, we need to point our marketing efforts, point our marketing tools, direct our messages to the particular target groups that we think will be most likely to do business with us. So we're going to call these groups our targeted customer groups or our niche markets. You can put whatever word you want to on it, but I want you to think in terms of a bullseye and us pulling that arrow back and shooting it and trying to get all the information we can right onto the web page or the front page of this targeted customer group. So that's why we spend a lot of time here on speaking about targets and niche markets and such as that, so that we don't waste our time and energy out here trying to sell to the world where they have no interest in doing business with us. Hence, 99% of all marketing money is wasted, but we're not going to do it because we're going to use targeted customer groups. So let's talk about now the most effective ways that we can make this plan come to part, that we can take that Golden Goose marketing plan and implement it. Remember last week, the Golden Goose plan? We got all the tools, we know the ingredients. Now let's figure out the best way to implement it. Well, the number one most effective way to help us do that, and the number one least costly way, isn't that something? The best way here is also the least costly way. How about that? Wonder what that is. Wow. It's that mobile phone page, that web page, that mobile page for our cell phone here. What shows up on your cell phone when your website comes up? This is the most effective tool you can have to start making money tomorrow with your business, is to make sure you've got a powerful mobile web page. Remember now, that web page is an internet function. It's not a telephone function. It's an internet function that comes up on your telephone because it can read the internet messages. So that mobile web page is the number one thing that tonight when you say, well, how am I going to help customers find me? The answer will be by having a great mobile web page. Just that's it. So here's a sample of my mobile page. I want customers to make it real easy for them to call me first. When they find my website, I want them to be able to push a button right on their telephone screen and give me a call. I do indeed. Because if I can get them to call me and we can chit-chat a little bit, then I've taken the competition out of the game. Because you'll learn how to talk to the customers, get them to get the information they want. You'll learn how to start taking notes. I keep a certain notepad right here in front of me with questions and answers on it. I write them all down very quickly. So in less than 3 minutes, I know the customer's name. I've learned to get their address, their hometown and zip code, and I've learned to get their email address. I wrote their phone number down because I can copy it off my cell phone. And I make some notes on what they're interested in. So in just a few moments in a good free-flowing conversation, and you do this in such a way that they know you're interested in them. They know you're listening to what they say, and you learn to ask the questions in such a way that you're not pretending to be an FBI agent. But yes, you can say, I'd love to send you an email. What's that address I can send it to? You preface your questions with a statement. That way, you're helping them give you the information you need. So, get used to taking phone calls, short, sweet, very positive, and a commitment from you that you're going to get back in touch with them quickly, and a commitment from them in a sense, yeah, I want you to hang on and wait for me because I really want your business, and as soon as I can get this quote to you, maybe we can do some business. Folks like that. They want to hear your voice and want to hear that you're working for them. It all starts with that mobile page. Mobile pages can be designed for any type of business. I have 3 of them up, so you can do a lot of different things with them. So now, what's the number 2, the second most effective way to help customers find you, and it's also the second least costly way. It's the old-fashioned way. Yeah, the cell phone thing is the new-fashioned way, but this is the old-fashioned way, and it's, hey, the raving fan customer. Nothing is more important than you having those raving fan customers sending other people to you. Yesterday, I had a gentleman in yesterday I had a gentleman in Delaware who called me up and asked for a quote of equipment that adds up to $12,800. $12,800. And he said, Steve, I'm looking forward to getting your quote. I've checked you out on the internet. Looks like that we'll probably be able to do some business, but I want you to send me some details. And so we had a real pleasant conversation. I got all I needed to send him the quote. And just before, we'd already said goodbye, and he said, wait a minute, Steve, I need to tell you that you sold a similar set of equipment to Donna and Doug up here in my neighborhood 2 years ago, and they're the main reason that I called you up, because they were very pleased with the product and very pleased with your service. Hey, Donna and Doug are raving fan customers, and I appreciate that, because no matter what I had put on the internet, Donna and Doug's information weighed more with him than anything else that he would write, because there's a neighbor that he trusts. He watches them. He's been able to watch him use that equipment and or be satisfied with it. There's no reason that I shouldn't be at the top of the consideration list, because Donna and Doug recommended me. That's raving fan customers. When you got raving fan customers, you're able to put them in a database, send out constant promotions, which is always helping you get more customers finding you, because those constant promotions going to your raving fan customers remind them that I am in business. I am always sending every 2 or 3, 6 weeks email to Donna and Doug in Delaware, reminding them I've still got products for sale and asking them, we'd appreciate you referring people to us. So that's a living proof that it works with big ticket and small ticket items. What's the third most effective way to help customers find you? Now, what was number 1? Mobile page. What was number 2? Raving fan customers. Now, we're talking about number 3. It's kind of the new fashion way, still least costly. Yeah, how about this? Finding customers. What can you do to, yesterday you didn't have any representation on the internet. Now, most of y'all that are with us tonight have some representation on the internet, but none of us, including me, have as much as we want, right? Or as good as we want it. But let's say that you're one of those that don't have anything. I can tell you that through this tool, tomorrow, you can have representation on the internet that will tell your location, you put pictures in it, get your email address where people can find you, give a map to your location, and give a spot for customers to say about their experience in doing business with you. 5 stars. You can do that tomorrow before you go to bed and probably spend less than $5. Now, what is that tool? That tool is your Google My Business account, which is now being called my Google Business Profile. But this is powerful. So how do you do that? You basically, you log on to Google, you type in up at the top, My Business Profile, and then you start just answering the questions and get it started. But in just a little bit, now this is one of our customers over at Hampstead, 2 darling ladies who got into the savory crab cakes business, went on, got their Google My Business account up and going, and in just a few days had a lot of people who had tried their stuff to send in recommendations and started doing business. This basically kicked off their campaign better than Facebook did, more effective than Facebook did. And right away after they did this and saw the power of the internet, they got their Facebook message up to par and also got their website up to par. But it is amazing what your Google Business Profile can do for you. And number four, what we call the cleanup hitter, like in baseball, you know, you got your first 3 hitters, and then the 4th one up is the one that drives home the triple play, that runs in all the rules. Well, the cleanup hitter in internet marketing to help customers find you is your YouTube channel. Notice I didn't say YouTube videos. They are very effective. But a YouTube channel is where you can put your YouTube videos together and stage them. Still no money being spent. But your YouTube channel is a website in itself. It's a website that talks and looks and sings and tells the story. Easier to put together really than a standard type website. It's up to you to push that button now. I should have motivated you all that I need. I want you to be on fire to get your own YouTube channel and start making it work for you. So let's stop thinking about it and get to creating. Now, number 5, offer as many marketable profit centers as you can. How do you help find customers, or how do help customers find you? Is you've got a lot of profit centers, so that a lot of different groups will come and find you. If you want more customers, you need more profit centers. If you got more profit centers, we'll call them more DBAs. We'll name the same thing, a lot of different names, so a lot of different customers will be able to find you. Number 6, identifying these target groups, and we'll talk about that in depth a little earlier. We want to actually write them down. I'm going to ask each and every one of you, Rhonda, Patrice, Amelia, Denisha, Cheryl, write down a group of customers that you think will be a good target group for you. The same for you and Julia and Jennifer as well. Who are these different groups? If you've got 5 or 6 of them, that's fine. That's about all you can really manage to begin with. In the long term, it'll be a lot more than that. But for right now, I'd like for you to at least have 5 or 6, or at least 1 or 2 target customer groups for each one of your profit centers. Now, we got those target groups. That's a type of customer. But we also need a database with individual email addresses on it, and as many as you can get. As many email addresses as you can get. Number 8, big deal. Probably something you haven't talked a lot about. Maybe a couple of you have. I see that have been advanced in your websites. But the use of SEO strategies to ensure that your landing pages are working is going to be critical for us. We're moving into the sophisticated way to help customers find you, but you're actually pulling the strings. You've heard the people say, well, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Well, let me tell you, if my horse sits down at a computer screen and they start typing in search terms that I think that they're going to do, I will pull them into my water trough. You can actually pull them in and see that they drink out of your trough with the powerful SEO terms. And it goes way, way beyond what I'm saying tonight with the basic elementary stuff. It can go a long way to do it. You hear about all this Facebook and other people, algorithms that make sure people end up at their website. I'm not into that yet. I'm just saying generally, if a customer types in a search term and we've done our homework professionally, there's a good chance they'll end up on your landing page. Remember last week's slide where we showed the whole world, and what we wanted to do was to get that one dot to come right down to this little spot in North Carolina where you and I are sitting. How do you do that? SEO. We bring them to a particular, not only just a town, not only just a business, not only just a particular website, but we bring them in from out there all over the world to a particular web page. That's what SEO is all about. Now, you've got a handout that I've explained it in terms that I think is absorbable, and then you can carry it as far as you want to. But it is so important, Crystal and Lisa, that you've got a good handle on how SEO can help us develop web pages so that customers can find us and buy what they want from us. So see that handout. This I really want you to read sooner than later. So what is SEO? Well, it's almost like a skill set or an art form, and a lot of people will have a lot of things to say about it. And I'm just kind of doing putting the pie in the pan here so that we understand how it's coming together. But SEO is about us using our skills to bring a customer from out there in space right direct to a particular web page, and to do it faster and better and smoother than all of our competition. This is about all of our competition. And we do that by being higher ranked on a page when someone types in a search term for one of your products, that your page comes up first and your competition comes up way down below you, without you having to spend a lot of extra money to do it. That's our objective. So, what are the factors that SEO is built around? Well, there's 9 primary factors. And so I'm going to go through these pretty quickly, but grab onto it. And this is one time that maybe you want to listen as close as you can so that you're getting the gist of it, and then come back tomorrow night with your notepad after you've thought about it and listen again, because this is so important. It will not hurt you to take a double dose of it. You know, like when you got a big headache, you don't take 1 aspirin, you take 2 or 3. Well, this is so important that this might be like 2 or 3 aspirin for you. So I invite you to come back tomorrow night as well. Factor number 1, what helps customers land on your landing page? It's the name of the page. If you've named your page what they've typed in, there's a good chance they're going to end up on your page. And that's what old Bubba Blue said last week from Forrest Gump. I got shrimp. I got all kinds of shrimp. I got baked shrimp and shrimp Creole and shrimp this and shrimp that. I'm saying that we'll have a different page for each one of those kinds of shrimp. So when a customer types it in, they end up on our page. Mobile friendly. And I can't do this for you, but a webmaster, someone that understands the techniques of how web pages work, there's a lot of things you can do to a web page with the engineering of it and the input of it that make it much more mobile friendly, much more friendly for a telephone. So when we do our work, we're going to find someone that can help us make sure our pages are mobile friendly. Notice that's number 2. Why? Because people are shopping on their telephones. Adding videos, big deal. Now, the keyword search terms are saying that the more times a certain word is in the text on a web page, or the more times a certain word is in the title of a video, the more likely it is to come up higher when someone's searching for it. And to come up higher means to be higher on the list on the page. So we will take these particular words and put them on our pages and in our videos lots and lots of times. This is guerrilla marketing now. We will use the word keyword. We'll keep putting it in on the page if we want people that are typing in keyword to find that page. I'll show you some examples of that. And then we want to add as many links, important links to our pictures, to our pages, to our videos. We want our web pages to have lots of links that go to other our pages. Why? If we can get a customer to land at our website, we don't want to be sending them off to other websites, because once they go over to someone else's website, they may not come back to see you. And a lot of folks don't teach just the way I teach it. They say it's good to have links to let people go out and look at something here and go out and look at something there. And you don't have to have all these web pages. You don't have to put all the information on it. Papa Steve-O is saying, every time you send a customer from your web page off into the internet to someone else's website, you have screwed up, because that is negative cash flow. They came to you with money in their pocket, and here you go sending them out. We're not going to do it. I've got well over 1,700 web pages at my websites, and I work real hard not to send my customers to anybody else's website. And it's proven to be the right thing to do through the years. Okay. Loading speed. Again, a webmaster, someone that's a professional in designing web pages, we can put a photograph that's a certain size or a certain type of photograph on a web page, and it takes forever for it to load up, even with high speed. But a webmaster knows how to reconfigure that photograph or to save it as another type, and it comes up just like that. And it's the same way with videos. So we need that professional help to make sure that our web pages load quickly and efficiently, because you know what? Customers will not wait for you. Customers are here now, and they want to be gone. If you don't get the information right to them right now, and you're the same way, you watch yourself tomorrow when you're surfing around and you're looking for something. If you click on a web page and it comes up and it just kind of freezes, in less than 2 seconds, you're probably clicking on it, let's go somewhere else. Your website's going to be the same way. Loading speed. Number 7, as you progress in your internet experience, pay-per-click will become an important factor for us in new business. Every one of us in new business, pay-per-click is an important factor. I am okay with recommending that you go ahead and experiment on Facebook with Boost. Boost is a way that you are paying for click. You're paying Facebook to get people to click on your ads. And they're very reasonable in the price, and you can control it very easily, and you can put a real small budget, I mean penny type budget on it. Paying for click can be very effective for you. But here's a word of caution. Do not go out to the big boys like Google Ads and Bing and some of these other folks that do pay for click, because they're after the big bucks. They're after the worldwide type marketing. And you don't give them your credit card. So you got to really be careful about setting your budget up, making sure you're not going to get in trouble there. But I do want to recommend to you that you do go to Facebook, you do boost some ads, send those ads to particular target groups. And every one of you on board, Rhonda and Amelia, Cheryl, you can be using Facebook Boost right now for a very small amount of money and maybe jumpstart your business. So you see right here, this is a page from a Google search for Carver. I searched for Carver. Now notice at the top of the list, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, the top 4 things that came in for, well, not the top 4, but 1, 2, 2. The top 2 items that came in on a Google search on this particular day was Carver Equipment Company and Carver Equipment. That's pretty darn good. Anytime you can be on the top 2 in Google, you're doing a lot right. Now on down the list here, you can see this is your pay for clicks. On down the list where it's in black ink, where it's not promoted, notice we're number 1. And that's really good too, because all your pay for clicks are going to be listed above all your standards. But you can be number 1 in your standard. As a matter of fact, an experienced shopper on the internet sometimes will understand that you're better off not to look at those on top, but go on down to find the ones that have the better websites who are earning first place position. That's a here or there, something that someone would say if you got number 1 position. But at any rate, we try to maintain number 1 in pay per click, but also number 1 in what you're going after. So I'm just not saying this because I think it'll work for you. I can tell you it works for me. Factor number 8, helping customers find you. And in startup businesses like us, in startup businesses, it's an important factor. Like we're all the way down to number 8, but social media is still a super important thing to do, which means I don't want you to leave out 1 through 7. They're more important than this number 8. But get involved with social media, with eBay, press releases, other platforms that you can do. There's a lot you can do to help customers find you. Now, individually, let me say to you, as I've been talking with Patrice, some little things that she might be doing there. And we talked with Lisa last week. Different businesses have different buzzwords and different things that may turn them on. So I'm talking broad base here, but I'll be glad to talk with you about individually what you're doing if you want some help or maybe some ideas, because I'll learn from you every time. I'm glad to get these questions. So go to chat, ask questions, or send me emails, or even better, and we'll try to make it better. Jennifer, I'm really looking forward to hearing more from you. So thank you for the emails that you've sent. You've got a lot going on there, and I know you're a busy lady. So social media is just full of different things that are coming out, and even more are coming every day. All of them may be important to your type of work, and I'm not discounting any of them. You'll just notice that I focus on Facebook. There are other presenters out here in the world that know these other social media platforms in and out and know them really well and how to manipulate them. Matter of fact, some of you may be professionals in a certain ones, and if you are, let me mention that is a good business to be in. Would be a visual Facebook administrator, a visual Google administrator. A lot of people are doing that for businesses. That got me into hiring visual administrative assistants. I have 2 that help me on a regular basis because I don't understand all the ins and outs because it can become complicated. So I want to focus on Facebook first for you because I know it's fairly easy to use and fairly low expense. But in some of your businesses, some of these other platforms might be very powerful for you. So those are the 9 factors. And factor number 9, don't back off from hiring a professional to at least get you over the hump, to at least help you get you started. Because if you don't, your website may never become proactive and profitable. So I encourage that we talk to website professionals. I'm not one. I have to hire mine. I've been dealing with the same one now for 35 years. He does a great job for us. He started out being a next door neighbor, but now he's out in Texas, and our relationship is as strong now as it ever has been. And through my work here with the Entrepreneurs Academy, we now have about 10 people that have come through the academy that are building websites, that if you need help doing it, I can give you some good referrals if you don't have someone that you want to talk to. Let's talk about keywords and search terms. Means the same thing. Search term and keyword is that word or phrase that someone types into Google when they're looking for something. You want to have that, and let me tell you. Let's say that you want to sell automobiles or shoes or whatever. Let's say shoes. Let me tell you that you're trying to come up with all the different things that a customer might type in if they're looking for shoes. Okay? What are the other words? What are the other synonyms for shoes? Well, there's got to be a lot of them in different types, right? But like Bubba Blue said about his shrimp, there's lots of kinds of shrimp. And you want to make sure that the kind that you're offering, that you have a web page for that particular kind of shrimp. So on the slide, I want to tell you some good news. You don't have to sit here and pull your brains out or get your dictionary out to come out with the different keywords that might help you, because you can go to Google and just type in keyword search terms, and there are websites designed to give you that information. I didn't say sell it to you, but to give it to you, all the keywords that you might want to use for your particular search term. So let's say the keyword right here is shoes. I wrote that in. And I went to one of these websites and typed in keywords that might be used for shoes, and look what we got. Excuse me. All the different kinds of shoes that you can imagine. Look at there. And therefore, we might have a web page that's named for each one of those different kinds of shoes if we're no plan to sell them. Anytime that you can use, like over here, name brands, that's a good thing, because name brands are kind of pre-sold. Like Hoka's and Brooks and Nike, OnCloud. Anytime you can do that is a good thing. Keywords are so important. I'll even mention to you that sometimes misspelling a word is an excellent way of guerrilla marketing to get people to find you. I was a Kubota tractor dealer, Kubota. Kubota is how you spell Kubota. But most people misspell it until they have been around in the market for a while. Someone brand new to the market or is not used to tractors, they'll spell Kubota about 15 different ways. And I learned early on as a Kubota dealer, when I started putting web pages and keywords on my landing pages where I misspelled Kubota over and over and over and over again. In other words, I'd have a full line of Kubota misspelled one way, next line another way, whatever, it's just like that. My web pages just lit up because I was the only one out there that was welcoming people who were spelling Kubota a certain way. Now, that might be the case with some of your products that you're doing too, so I'll be glad to talk to you about it. No extra charge for that little tidbit of information. It just comes with the plan. Might help make you a lot of money. Keywords are so important. So notice now that at the bottom of this page down here, I've just got it full of different words, different text down here in this block about tractors, towns, different types of mowers. That is a hodgepodge of different search terms that someone might type in. And I got it down at the bottom of my page because on a web page, you've got your bottom part down there, your bottom header and your top header. Well, I use my bottom headers just to fill up with different text words to help people SEO that are typing in certain words find me. And it might be the name of a product, it might be the name of a town, it might be the name of a state, because let me tell you, Lisa, I am just really pleased to have someone from Idaho to come on my website, to the point that I've got some web pages that's got Idaho written at the bottom of them, just out of the blue. So if you want to move your market nationwide instead of to a particular little area, there's some guerrilla marketing strategies that you can put to work through SEO to help you find those customers very significantly. I'll be glad to share those with you a lot. Okay, let me mention right here. Here's a little close-up on one of those headers at the bottom. Notice here I'm focusing on different towns in North Carolina because I do a really good job nationwide, but sometimes I miss right much business in North Carolina. So on some of my web pages, I just practice putting in the names of different towns so that if someone types in, I'm looking for a this in Parkton, North Carolina, my page will come up. I may not have the thing that they were looking for, but because they mentioned Parkton, my page will come up. You can make that work too for you as well. So Beth, over in Dublin County, if you're after local counseling type work, you may want to get a map out and look at all the names of the little towns and communities in the radius of people you think that people will drive in to talk to you if you want local business, and type that in. And Rhonda, this would be the same for your mobile services. We'll want to focus on region, and by focusing on region, we would use search terms that are related to naming the different towns in the region that you want customers at. Okay? It works. It works really well. I'll be glad to help you with it. Here's another one of my headers where I mentioned just lots of different words, different things that I sell. Notice here, Roanoke, Virginia is mentioned. Greenville, North Carolina is mentioned over here. Raleigh's mentioned over here. Tractor canopies. I mentioned all different things that we sell just in a hodgepodge. But the search engines will find that word if that's what the customer is looking for and bring your page up. And the more you do this and the better you're at it and the longer you've been doing it, because search engines looking all the time. So after you've been in business a while, if you've had these pages up working for you, the search engines already have your pages locked in when someone types in that keyword that they want to go find. What makes a webmaster, what makes a website designer better than another one? Is it the bells and whistles they can put on it, all the little things, all the little tricks of the trade, the snappy commercials or cartoons or activities that they do, the music? A lot of those things I used to say, well, that makes one website better than another. But I've come to the point now after 35 years, what makes one website better than another? It is easy. Is it making money? Does a large percentage of the people who visit that website end up asking you a question? Now, that's what the webmaster's job is to get someone to interact with you. It's your job to put something on that website that's sellable and marketable. And if you put something that's sellable and marketable there, it's the webmaster's job to help you sell it and market it. Okay? I will not be real happy with you if after a couple of years you say, Steve, I got my website up and running. It's so pretty. I get a lot of good compliments on it. Because old Papa Steve those here is going to ask you one question first. Are you making money? And are you getting a good number of emails and questions every day? In other words, is it alive and being active with your market, or is it just on the internet like the million other websites that are there, and not doing a thing for you. That's the mentality we want to have if we're in the web marketing. And where do we make our money at our website? We do it on landing pages. These pages that we direct our customers to, these pages that are named for the target group that we're after, for the profit center that we're promoting. And when they come to your landing page, please take a look at this as one of mine. When they come to a landing page, I want them to have a place that they can order right now, a place they can click a button and take them out of the market. When someone at my site types on that order right now, they come up to a form, they fill their name in on it, they send me an email, and I don't call them right back then or sometime tomorrow. I want them to be encouraged to know that the price is there and it's already been reduced. Yeah, I went ahead and discounted it. On the internet, I don't have time to chit-chat with them and chit-chat. So I want them to know right now that my price is lower than MSRP or the advertised price, and I just go ahead and give it to them. And even better than that, remember, this is not a take it or a leave it game, because if it's take it or leave it, people leave you and keep shopping. I want the hook here. So what is the hook on this page? The hook here is, first of all, they see a reduced price. And I know in the marketplace that is very competitive. So I've got their attention. That's the look. Next, they keep looking, and they see here that they can pay different ways and change the price. In other words, it's not take it or leave it. Hey, I can come down here and I can pay with a bank transfer for a few dollars more, or I can use my credit card and it costs me this. I use American Express and it costs me a little more. I can get it at eBay for approximately this amount of money, and I remind them again that they are way below market price. So what does the customer think? First of all, I want them to think that I am trying to give them enough information to make an educated choice. And I've given them plenty of information there to do it. Talked about assembly and shipping and such as that. But I also want them to order it right now. And a landing page that works this way will do it for you. Some people don't want to order right now. They want to call you up and chit-chat about it. And that's just fine too. So you give them any, on the top of both of these pages, there's places they can click, get my phone number, and give me a call. But you want to have an honest effort, my friends, to be hungry. Let the customer know that you're hungry, that you've got an appetite for business. Because folks want to do business with hungry people. They do. If your air is, I've got all the money I need, I'm a professional, I'm cool, I really don't care whether you do business with me or not, you can take it or leave it. Well, you can count yourself amongst that crowd to be going out of business before you ought to be. Or at least that's the way old Steve-O feels about it. On your landing pages, remember the SEO terms. Notice right here on this page where I'm listing some different types of equipment. I repeat drum more, drum more, drum more, drum more. Sickle bar more, twine baler, twine baler, twine baler. I repeat those words over and over and over again. I could have just put dittos there, right? Or put it in one time and made it in capital letters. I listed these model numbers over and over and over again. Why would I do that? Why would I take up all that time and energy and space when I could have made it much easier reading just by doing it at one time and then use my columns? Do you know now? I repeated those model numbers and those descriptions over and over and over again so that the SEO factor would kick in, so that the search engines would find these pages if a customer was looking for a twine baler or looking for a TX31 or looking for a drum mower. That's why my website pages are always high on the list in the search terms, because we're doing a good job with SEO terms here. Same information could have been put in 1/5 of the space there if I hadn't repeated all the model numbers. but I wanted to repeat all that information for SEO terms. No extra charge for this. That's just a little tip that you learn through the years. Next factor, location. Location has always been important in business, and it's very important, of course, in marketing. Where you have your signs, where your store is, your placement, how you do your merchandising inside and out, your print ad placements. Think always that not only do you need to have this advertising tool working for you, but you need to have it placed in the right place. Otherwise, it's wasted money. Hence, that's where some of that 99% of wasted money ends up going. It's because people didn't think about placement. Now, I sent one of a long-time good friend and advertiser who does magazine advertising an email this week and said, I think I may want to do some advertising with you. I hadn't done any with her in over 15 years because it just didn't seem like it was bringing me a good return on investment. But I looked at her advertising, at her magazine, which is a big publication, and I thumbed through some 100 pages there, and not a single one of my competitors were advertising in that book my 5 most popular profit centers. Not a single one of them. Hence, if old Steve-O slips in there marketing those 5 really good hot items, and I'm the only one in the book that's pushing those, I got a good chance of catching some fish. So I don't consider advertising in that print magazine that I hadn't been in 15 years or so, because things change, and it may be there. Now, I'm not going to make a commitment for 4 or 5 months with her, but I'll try at least 2 months. I'll try at least 2. My teaching says I should try it 3 times, right? Because they have missed my ass 2 out of 3 times. And I'm certainly not going to do the 27 times rule, not in a print magazine. But I will give it some consideration, because there are times that if you get the right location. So what I was going to lead up to, I will spend money in that magazine, but only if I can get the right location. I will not spend money in that magazine, even though I think it's a good gamble, a Las Vegas gamble, that I'll get business out of it, because I know that location is so important. I want to be on the inside front cover or on page 3, which is the first page you see when you open up a book. Inside front cover or page 3, or I want the back cover, so if it's laid on the table upside down, somebody will see my ad. And if I can't get an ad on one of those 3 spots, even if I have to pay a lot more for it, I probably will not do advertising in that print book. If I'm putting up a sign and I can't get that sign where I want it, I probably won't pay extra for that sign. I probably won't order it at all. So as you're looking at your marketing, not only internet-wise, but signage-wise and paper products-wise and print ads, think about that location, because it's so very important. Now, there's a 5-star plan that we talked about last week, and I'm going to review it now because of all the stuff that we're covering here in these first 4 weeks. And after tonight, we're going to move away from the marketing standpoint, from the Chamber of Commerce, from the reaching out, from the blowing our horn type stuff, studying and skills and things like that to meet with customers. We're going to move away from this type of tack a little bit after tonight and go into the more of the administrative and profit things we can do profit-wise through administrative work, negotiating and forecasting, and with our taxes and our bookkeeping. That's what the rest of this 7-part series is going to be focusing on. Really important stuff, Robert. I've given y'all enough with your homework and these lessons, the first 4 nights, to help you get started. But to kind of sum that up, let's look at this 5-star plan, because you can use this as a guide, use your handout or make notes, that what I want you to do first with your homework is going to help you do it, is identify your profit centers. In other words, come up with a menu of what you're offering to your customers. Think about the dates that you actually want to start selling. one thing or a lot of things, but at least have a plan when you're going to be a business entrepreneur and start taking in money. What's that date? And it's good if you wait 60 days if you're not ready to go, or even 6 months, so that we can come up with that business planner that we talked about in week 2. Remember that, where we do that 6-month planner? Make that work for you. You don't have your menu of your profit centers, which are also going to be your income generators for your business plan. Let's put some prices out there beside them and see how it stacks up in the marketplace. Now, do you have upsell opportunities with the profit centers that you've picked? Do you automatically able to say, okay, Beth, thank you for buying this, and since you've done it, I've also got this right here that goes along with it. And by the way, Denisha, I've got this as well. So when I was working with Julia and wanting some dog biscuits for Otis, I looked at her website there and I said, okay, Otis likes these bacon dog biscuits. And then I said, well, and by the way, he also likes cheese, and he does that. So Julia, I want you to be thinking about on your web pages, which I know you just got fundamental pages up, that at some point in time, we need some other items that people can buy from you other than treats. There's no reason you can't be selling other dog toy products or clothing products or items, food products or supplements or vitamins, because you've got a great thing started there, but you're going to need something besides treats to offer to really enjoy upsells. Next, we got to do those videos, and our objective in getting started with videos is easy: to learn how to introduce ourselves, then how to introduce our products, and then once we get our videos up and running is to have our own YouTube channel with at least 4 or 5 videos there that we can start sending customers there, and then they will start buying from us from our YouTube channel. All these things have to be run and posted and put up and used in our emails. So how are we going to do that? First of all, we're going to make sure that our website is mobile friendly. We don't use Facebook and email, Craigslist or eBay to help promote these products. And just like we just said, have us our YouTube channel to put those videos to work. We're right on to target now at 7:28, and we're going to move into reaching into our toolbox of things that we've been talking about and seeing how we can apply them, what strategy we can use to apply them for each one of your targeted customer groups. So I can see you at your desk, you've got your pad out there, and you've got different circles that you've drawn around, and in each one of those circles, you've written in the name of the different niche market, target group, or profit center. That's the mindset that you want to have as you're planning your campaigns. I use this all the time when I'm thinking about adding any new profit center, or maybe developing a new target group of customers. Like I sold sickle bar mowers for 20 years, but you know what? I did not go after solar farm sickle bar mower users until this year. And that is an important market that I need to develop. So I started doing some videos and putting a plan together for the solar farms. You probably have products that you've been thinking about that one group of customers you know will like, but my challenge to you is, let's think about another niche market that might really like that too if we call it a different name. Yeah, they like that product, but they call it this instead of that. Or, you know, this is a real popular product in North Carolina, but you know what? My research on the internet tells me it's really popular in Idaho for whatever reason. So what do you do about that? We take some of our targeted advertising and send it over towards Idaho with pay per click. That way of thinking makes you money. And there's three ways that we're going to service the individual target groups. We're going to think about the media that we're going to use. We're going to think about the methods that we're going to use. And then we're going to consider, is there a guerrilla marketing factor or strategy that we can pull in here too? So what is guerrilla marketing? Guerrilla marketing is when you think out of the box, when you do something weird, surprising, quiet, sneaky, when you figure out a way to bend the rules all the way over to almost breaking to help you get some customers in without spending any real money, or in such a unique way that it's funny or gets their attention. Guerrilla marketing is a whole lot of the fun part of being an entrepreneur, because we have flexibility and freedoms that larger companies don't have. So let's get into it now. The meat and potatoes. What we first have to be careful of is not letting some important group fall through the crack. That's why I asked you to give serious thought to who are the niche markets that can really make a difference for you. You want to have a strategy that reaches out to every one of them and you don't leave anybody out. I tried to lay some brick one time, and I'm a project guy. You know, I like to do woodworking and natural woods, build decks, do a lot of landscaping outside. I'm just a project guy. I did it for a lot of years, and finally now I've quit doing it because all these projects have become maintenance for me. But I tried to lay brick one time, and I was an absolute failure at it. Made a mess, but I tried. Ended up tearing it down so nobody would see what a mess it was. But then I went out and started watching some other people, hired somebody to come in and build a brick fence around our courtyard here. And I noticed that when someone is laying brick, there's one thing that is constant. That brick mason will get his mortar just right, the mud, he'll get it just right consistency. And he lays the foundation so that everything is level. And then he uses a plumb bob, a string, to make sure that everything is straight up and down. But he's got those little tools, and pretty non-scientific, but very, very specific. Has to be right. But he'll lay that brick down, put the mortar on it, slap it on it, and put it down. And then while he is holding that, and he's got it just right, he'll take his trowel and he'll hit it a couple of times. So anytime you're around brick masons, you're always hearing that music. Click, 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 click. Wait a minute. Click, 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 click. You know what he's doing? Every brick mason is doing that. For every brick. You'll hear those. What they're doing is setting the mortar, making the mortar stick with no air, like glue, to both sides of those bricks. Setting it in itself so that the mortar stays the same thickness and it's level one side to the other. That's setting the brick. I want to tell you that we learn a lesson here, because what we want to do is, while we're after targeted customer groups, and a lot of them, we always have to keep the fundamental rule in mind that we build our business one customer at a time. Every customer is important. One customer at a time. When we have a chance to do business, we set that with our Raving Fan customer seeds, with our hospitality, with our welcome, with us getting their email address and their cell phone number. That is setting that customer into your building of your business. Remember that fundamental, and anyone that's helping you in your business, make sure they understand every customer is important. No matter what they're wearing, what nationality they are. If you need business, you need customers one at a time, and every one of them is important. Set the customers just like the brick mason does. Now notice in this horse race here that this horse over here on the outside is about 4 inches ahead of the other. Both those horses ran a great race, and they were right there together at the end, but one was 4 inches ahead of the other. That horse probably won $1 million. The horse on this side won a bale of hay. Because coming in second is coming in second. What's that have to do with us? Like I didn't say, or I said a while ago, that finishing the race is important. Well, this second horse over here, he finished the race, and that's important, and he's got his bale of hay. But here's the key thing when we're talking about here. You'll learn that in business, 1 week, if you'd have just had one more sale, one more little sale, maybe you would have made a profit that week. You'd have been in black ink. Or in 1 month, if you'd have had 2 more sales, you could have been in black ink and say that you were profitable and been profitable. In a year, maybe if you'd had 20 more sales, you'd have had a great year, but a profitable year, your first profitable year, but you didn't. Every sale is important, whether it's a nickel or a dollar. The little nickels and the small sales, those individual customers, one at a time, make the difference in profitability and loss so many times with new businesses. So I want to tell you, every one of these customer groups may have 1 or 2 customers in it. Maybe you're not going to get a lot of business out of them to begin with, because we got to develop our plan, then develop our SEO strategies, and develop our profit centers. But if the more customer groups that you are involved in your marketing plan, the better you're going to get the onesies and the twosies that will make all the difference in the world, because one of those ones that you just thought was a onesie may be the best raving fan customer you've ever had, and they bring in a zillion more for you. You just don't know. That's the fun of doing in business. It is not a perfect science. But what is perfect here is, if you leave out a customer group that's got good potential of being low-hanging fruit for you, that's a bad mistake. That is a bad mistake. That is a pitfall. So, my friends, let's think about your targeting groups. How are you coming along? Have you drawn some circles and written down some different groups? And I've got some titles here that we can use in a general way that makes everybody happy. Like if you're in a vacation area, you might target vacationers. Or if you're down around Newbern and Jacksonville, you might say the Marines are important to you. If you're in Morehead City, you might say Coast Guard's important to you. If you're at Fayetteville or Rayford, it's U.S. Army all the way, right? Air Force. Goldsboro, lots of Air Force. It goes on and on. Every community's got certain targeted groups that might be important for you. Different communities may have colleges, so you got that educational community. A lot of communities have healthcare facilities and hospitals and medical training centers. They've got a certain group of type of customers, nurses, doctors, administrators, such as that. And then there's some dream customers we'll talk about in a little bit. Or maybe you're saying, my trade can be nationwide. My trade can go all across the nation, like Julia. Dogs all over the nation, all over the world, like dog biscuits. And Julia, the beauty of the U.S. mail, I don't know if she's discovered this or not, you can take one of those priority flat rate boxes for $8 and send it to Raleigh, North Carolina, or you can send it to Tucson, Arizona, or Seattle, Washington, and the shipping cost is the same. I use that all the time. So when you have certain products and you develop them around the way to serve nationwide where freight doesn't kill you, then that's a good thing to think about. So that would be a certain group of customers. So if we're looking at focusing on nationwide or worldwide, we'll use a different strategy than we're after the vacationers that's coming into our community right here at home. So with every customer group, we're going to decide which ones we're going to use. Are they searching on the telephone? Are they not using computers? Are they new to the community? You know, there are some people that do not search on the telephone. Lots of elderly people and lots of young people do that. But you got to keep in mind, while the buyers are not doing that searching, probably in the case of elderly folks, a lot older than I am, of course, they get someone else to do it for them. And talking about children's products, well, their parents are shopping for them. So either way, even though that buyer or that target customer may not be using his telephone or the internet, they have someone that's doing it for them. And a good group of customers that all of us want to think about, depending on what type of money or product we're offering, especially Beth, this would be concerning for you and Jennifer. Folks that are coming into your community, newcomers, they're not loyal to someone else. They don't have another service base of people that help them with different things. They're new. So you might want to consider, well, this is a way that I can get new customers and have a level playing field with my established competition. So what are you going to do to be able to find out how to stay in touch with new customers in your area? And then there may be visitors or vacationers like down at the coast or up in the mountains. It might be that you want to go outside of North Carolina. And then there's that group that's close. We got some customers that you want them, but they don't want you. You want them, but they don't want you, and they are not searching. That's an important group that we got to talk about as well. So we're going to decide what media and what method and what guerrilla marketing you'll use for each one of your different customer groups. Now, I'm not going to go through all my slides. I'm not going to spend time on them because in your handout we talk about it. But the process here is that for each customer group, you think in your mind, I want to develop a marketing plan with media and method and guerrilla marketing to serve them. Let's say that we're talking about folks out here, the different types of media. World Wide Web, business cell phones, print media, social media. That's just some examples of them. Signage. Signage is a type of media that you would use in different ways. Lots of different signage. All kinds of signs. And let me say here is a good example. Like there's a lot of old worn out signs all over the countryside and in town. Places that good signs that can be reconditioned and redone for very inexpensive cost. So if you've got some of these signs in areas that you think would serve your business well, you might talk to the property owner or to the store owner and see if you can revamp it. Sometimes they'll let you revamp it and use it for free for a certain period of time just to make it look better. Or maybe you'll put a bottom sign for something they want to advertise and you use the other part. So look for ways to save money. That's the guerrilla marketing way to take advantage of old signages and do it. You see this mailbox? What that represents is a piece of paper that's been folded and turned over. The message is on the piece of paper. It was done for less than a penny probably. Turned over and folded, put a piece of tape on it right here, and slid over the flag on a mailbox. That is perfectly legal. Putting it inside the mailbox is not. So maybe you've got some type of product or service that you want to sell or offer, and you would just go around to a community, housing development or small community, and just slip your signs right over that flag. Very inexpensive way to get your message right in the hand of your potential customer. Will somebody maybe complain about it? They will. Or you don't worry about it? You are not. You just don't overdo it. You don't make sure you're not making a mess in the community, and do it very small scale, so to speak, a little bit at a time, and you should get along very, very well. Rhonda, I'll mention to you, this is a very effective way to get your mobile mechanic and messages out to individual communities close to you, because you can ride through the countryside. You'd only put these on the farms or the places that's got equipment that you think your husband might be working on. Very little cost, but very effective way to get your message out there to folks that may not find you on the internet. Another good way in signage is for several businesses to go together and split up a billboard. This billboard would probably cost $1,500 a month by itself for one person, which would be a big expense. But 4 people could spin it up for $400 a month apiece and get a good message out there at a low price. So that's your media. Your methods, your methods, there's 12 of them. I'm going to talk about 12 or 20 of them that go all the way through to things that we've been talking about. The different ways that you can use your profit centers, your raving fan customers, your website, testimonials to get your message out there to help you reach your profit center. One of the most key ways in methods is the use of the SEO terms. We can add all these up together, and if all of these 20 things importance-wise came up to 10, the SEO is worth the other 10. That's how important it is that you learn to make sure that your web pages have a good SEO presentation on them. Having the customers keep coming back and make them feel good, referrals, locator maps on your pages. So many things that you can do with your locator maps. Notice right here on one of my web pages, this is your Google locator right there. See where it shows that? Now in my situation, I don't have any equipment here at my home office. My equipment and where my customers go is to the warehouse where we keep it stored if they want to pick it up. So I have on my locator map the place where my equipment is. You've got some flexibility in that. And with Google, sometimes you got to dance around. So if that becomes an issue for you, give me a call and I might be able to give you some tips to work through that. Guerrilla marketing tactics go a long way to save you money. DBAs is the best guerrilla marketing tactic what we have. That is when we take one product and name it 4 or 5 different names so it's better suited for different customer groups. Using Facebook and eBay to put our ads there to help people find our website is a very good way to do it. Using testimonials is very important. But DBAs is the biggest way that you're going to make more money with less advertising. The example I want to give to you is Kellogg. You've heard this name forever, every time you go to the grocery store. When you walk down the aisle at Food Line, you're going to see Kellogg on every one of these boxes. And they've got 76 DBAs. 76 DBAs, which is basically cereals and breakfast foods made by Kellogg. Why do they do that? So that they have a cereal for every old guy, every young guy, everybody that wants some health food, everybody wants a children's sweet snacks, and everything in between. It's the use of DBAs that put more money in your pocket without costing you any more money bookkeeping-wise or tax-wise. Facebook, very strong. It's a place you can advertise your business free and help direct business to your website. We've talked about that a lot tonight. Same thing on eBay. You can use a really low-cost eBay ad to send hundreds and thousands of people to your website very effectively. Testimonials get rid of the anxiety with customers. At my website, I use a slideshow up over the top on my top part. And when this one comes up, retail testimonials, I got a finger that shows them right where to click. And we get a lot of clicks on our testimonial page based on that slideshow that actually points the finger right at them. Again, can you make the horse drink at the water trough? No, but you can use tools like this to lead him right up to the trough and put his head down in it. So tell me about your marketing plans for each customer. I'll be glad to read your ideas, see your sketches, chat with you about it, but it's up to you to give the thought, who are my best target groups, my best niche markets to help me get my media started. And then in your handout, I've given you an example how you'll take each group and go through them. But I'm going to take an extra few minutes here to talk about one group specifically. In your business, you've got people in your community that you really want them to be customers. They're good folks. They spend the right kind of money. They let people make money. They're there. They're good. But just because they're already using someone else, they don't need you. Or maybe they aren't ready for your services yet, then they just don't need you. But you need them, and you want to start doing your homework. So here we are in 2023, and are we going to say that I don't get all my customers to help them find me by using the internet and by using signage, by using my business cards? No. That's the easy way out. That's what folks who have not been around in the real world a long time would say. I don't need to do cold calls. I don't need to knock on doors and meet strangers. I can just let people call me who want me. Well, most of us entrepreneurs, that sounds good, and we might get by, but we're never going to get those great customers that really will set us on fire business-wise. That's right. So here's the deal. That target group of customers, I want you to have a target group that I call the dream customers. That's people that you know or that other people tell you, if you could get their business, it'll make a major positive impact. And you start making a list of those. I suggest that you have at least six people. And those six, I want you to start remembering something. It's important that you make an impact there so that when the opportunity to do business does open up for you, that you get a shot at it. Now, how does that process work? Businesses, small businesses that will give you business to you, there will be a decision maker who makes the final decision whether or not you get a chance to start serving them. And that decision maker, there's a good chance that that decision maker has a secretary or someone out in front of them or a manager who keeps people like me and you from going to that place and getting to talk to them just because they don't want to be solicited. I understand that. I've had people in front of my offices too that would take folks and talk to them. So I didn't have to. The people that are out there in front are called the gatekeepers. And the gatekeepers to most new entrepreneurs like you will be somebody you're afraid of, that you'll hate, because if you go there, they're not going to be nice to you, or maybe they will be nice and polite, but they're not going to let you do what you want to do, which is talk to the decision maker. It's just a fact. So a lot of people say, I hate cold calls. I don't want to do that. I'd rather do anything else than make cold calls. I have to tell you, as your business coach, get over it. Get over it. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to write down on a calendar a planner that you're going to call on that customer at least once a month. Remember that 6-month planner we did in week 2? On that 6-month planner, there's going to be every day somebody, or every other day, you're going to make a cold call. You're going to go in there and present yourself as someone who is here and available and would appreciate a chance to do some business when the opportunity arises. You're not going to go in there asking for business right now. Sure, if it's available, you'll take it. You want a business card and such as that. Your objective is to meet the decision maker if you can, of course, and establish a relationship with them. But the chances of you doing that may be slim. So the gatekeeper, the person that's saying no, we don't need you. No, he's not seeing anybody today. No, I don't have anything I need. That is your target now. Your gatekeeper becomes the person that you want to become your raving fan customer. You'll visit them when you walk out. You're going to make those notes about what's her name, what's she interested in, what's some special things, what's her dog's name. She has children. He does this, he does that. You'll start making a note on the gatekeeper so that when you come back in a month, they may not recognize you name-wise, but they'll recognize your face, but you're going to remember their name because you studied it in the car before you went back in. You don't remember their name and say, hey, don't mean to bother you, just don't be here a minute, let you know I really appreciate the chance to serve you. Here's my brochure. Here's a pen that you might like, and here's some candy. Got some candy for you today. Okay? You do that over a period of months, they will like you. You'll create a relationship, and maybe they won't send there's no job there for you at their place, but you know what? That person goes to lunch and has friends at church and at school and other places, and that person may recommend you to someone else. You're not wasting your time and money. You're still after the big prize, because one day Sally's sitting out front, and Mr. Johnson will say, Sally, you know, old Timmy's been looking after our office supply business for a long time. For 30 years, we've been doing business with his office supply business, and he's going to sell it, and told me last week I need to be looking around for someone else. Wonder what we're going to do. And she's going to say, well, Mr. Johnson, Patrice has been coming by here every few weeks. She's a nice lady. Got children here in the community, hardworking. Looks like her prices are competitive. Got a good brochure. Why don't we give her a chance? That's the way it works. The decision makers almost never really make the decision until they talk to someone, one of their administrators, about do they have a recommendation. So if you have been calling on that person regularly and you've got your name in the door, with not only the one at the desk, but maybe the one back in the shop, if you've made friends in that organization, let me tell you, it's only a matter of time before a door will be open for you. That's how doors are opened, by someone that we didn't think would open doors for us. So in your list of target customers, you make sure you list down your dream customers. That's those people that you really want that company or that person to become one of your customers, and let's figure out a way to make it happen. If you don't have a plan, it will not happen. And the plan I've just laid out to you can work. I've seen it work a lot of times. So let's have that effective mobile page, Google My Business ad, landing pages that work, testimonials, and YouTubes. We're going to learn to follow up and get that magic marketing moment. We've got to have that list of profit centers, a targeted group of customers, a good plan to reach out and meet people, and inject your bright ideas, because your bright ideas are the ones that I will learn from and your customers will learn to love. Let's keep your spirits up as high as you can and be happy. Let your light shine. Let your light shine so customers can find you. Hold it up high and be the best person you can be. You'll be the best business person you can be, and people will find you. I want to say to you, God bless you. Say your prayers, and say your prayers for us and everyone else in the path of this hurricane that's coming up our way. We're going to need some help, and other people will too. Let's be ready to help them any way we can. Thank you so much. Well, I'd appreciate your comments. Turn your mics on and your videos on. We'll chat a few minutes if you'd like. I'll answer any questions. Thank you so much. Patrice, you still with us? Crystal, any comments? Jennifer, didn't get to hear from you earlier.
I don't have any comment. I'm still here. I'm going to, start working on some of this stuff.
That'll be good. We'll be ready to help you whenever you send it our way.
Yes, sir.
Tara, you still with us? Or you still on the road?
I'm trying. I pulled over. Let's take it online. I'm actually going to take off and go ahead and go to Atlanta now.
I could hear you talking. We couldn't understand you. A lot of interference there, but thank you for calling. Julia, looking forward to getting those dog biscuits this week and see how Otis likes them. Okay.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, this is Tish Terrell. I lost my voice, so I didn't make it there yesterday at James Brunt, but I really enjoyed this evening. But I'll I'm working on my video. It's going to be rough because I'm not like a video person. So I'll make sure you get that.
Well, I am so glad to hear from you, and I hope your voice gets better. Sorry we missed you down there, and thanks for calling in tonight.
Oh, I enjoy it. It's really been helpful for me.
Very good. Thank you so much. All right, anyone else? All right, well, I'm going to say good night. Wish you the very best, and God bless you, and take care. Be careful during this hurricane. Bye-bye.
God bless.